Good evening and welcome to this edition of Newsleader on 6. I'm Jim Fuller.
And I'm Amelia Marquez. In tonight's news, a Shelbyville man has died in an accident at the Tyson poultry plant. Two mid-state lawmakers are looking to change the marijuana possession law in Tennessee. Coffee County has a new public defender. We'll talk to Senator Janice Bolin about her views on Common Core, and the trial dates have been postponed for 4 men accused of murdering a Franklin County volunteer firefighter. We'll have those stories and more on tonight's Newsleader on 6.
Push it, pull it, or drag it in for our annual Cash for Trash event. It's going to be bigger and better than ever at all the State McNabb dealerships. That means the whole month of February, we are giving you $2,000 minimum towards the purchase of any pre-owned vehicle. And we've received a huge shipment of new cars. We're stacking them deep and selling them cheap. So push, pull, or drag your vehicle in today for your $2,000. It's the biggest event of the year at State McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. And State McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. And State McNabb Ford. Cash for Trash month is back. Yes.
When you're running late headed to that sporting event or horse show and hungry but need gas, you don't have to choose which to get. Just stop at any Quick Mart where gas prices are normal and the food is outstanding. Burgers, fries, salads, sub sandwiches, chicken strips, egg rolls, even pizza can be picked up while the gas is pumping. Stop by any Quick Mart today and not only save time, but enjoy some good cooking, southern hospitality, and prices you can live with.
There's no place like home.
Getting home safely is just a click away. And choosing the right seat for your little one's age and size will take you down the road to safer travels.
How can I ever thank you enough?
Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
Welcome back. A contract employee working at Shelbyville's Tyson poultry processing plant has died in an industrial accident. According to the Shelbyville Times-Gazette, James Currier, age 38, of Shelbyville, died early Tuesday morning as he worked to clean and sanitize machinery at the sprawling food processing plant. A co-worker heard a machine engaged and saw that Currier was trapped. The man pushed an emergency shutoff button and called 911, but the victim died at the scene. The plant was closed at the time of the accident. The accident was reported to the Federal Occupational Safety and Health Administration, which regulates workplace safety.
Legislation has been introduced in both chambers of Tennessee General Assembly to legalize the possession and casual exchange of up to 1 ounce of marijuana. The companion bills were filed last Thursday by Senator Jeff Yarborough and Representative Harold Love, also of Nashville. The proposed legislation won't allow retail sales of marijuana in the state of Tennessee and won't be able to grow their own cannabis. The bills simply changed Tennessee's criminal code to require an offender to be caught with 1 ounce or more of marijuana in order to be charged for the possession. The bills also reduce the penalty for the possession of 1 ounce or more to Class C misdemeanor, punishable only by a $100 fine, with no possible jail time as well. Currently, possession of up to a ½ ounce of marijuana in Tennessee is a Class A misdemeanor. The punishable up by 1 year in prison plus mandatory fines for the first or second offenses. First-time offenders are fined $250, and the second-time offenders face a $500 fine. Those caught for a third subsequent offense face felony charges that land an offender in prison for 1 to 6 years, plus a mandatory fine of $1,000. Under the proposal, the non-monetary casual exchange of up to ½ ounce of marijuana would not be considered a sale of distribution. Otherwise, penalties for cultivation and sale of marijuana would remain a felony, with varied penalties depending upon the severity of the offense. If passed, the changes to the law would take effect as soon as July 1st.
Trial dates for 4 men charged with the 2013 slaying of a Cowan volunteer firefighter have been delayed. The 4 are charged with killing 26-year-old Corey Matthews in late March, leaving his battered body in a rain-soaked cornfield not far from his home. Accused killer David Jenkins was set to go to trial this week in Winchester, but his courtroom date was delayed until May the 4th in order for him to get a new lawyer. The Chattanooga Times Free Press says that will also delay the murder trials of John Lanier, Cody Holmes, and Todd Dalton. Prosecutor Mike Taylor's Prosecutor Mike Taylor says that each man will be tried separately in the order. Initial courtroom dates are set. Taylor said trial dates for the three will likely be set when Jenkins actually goes to court. Investigators say all four of the accused killers and Matthews were members of a white supremacy group. They say a doctrine dispute may have led to the victim's beating death.
Governor Bill Haslam has appointed John E. Nickel as the public defender for the 14th Judicial District, which covers Coffee County. Nickel fills the vacancy left by the late B. Campbell Smoot Jr., who has passed away last year. Nickel, age 41, is a founder and managing partner of the Nickel Law Firm in Manchester. He has represented more than 200 indigent criminal defendants in the state of the federal courts of Tennessee and has served as a member of the Criminal Justice Act panels for the U.S. District Courts for Middle and Eastern Districts of Tennessee. As U.S. Army Judge Advocate General Corps Officer from 2000 to 2004, Nichols successfully prosecuted more than 150 felony cases. Nichols is a 1999 magna cum laude graduate of the University of Tennessee College of Law. He has received numerous certificates for academic excellence and the James L. Powers III Excellence in Criminal Advocacy Award. He has graduated the magna cum laude with a bachelor's degree in accounting from Furman University in 1996. Upon learning of his appointment, Nichols said, quote, Campbell Smoot served this community well for more than 2 decades, and his passing is a great loss. I'm honored and humbled to receive Governor Haslam's appointment and to assume the duties of public defender. I am blessed to have inherited an office filled with an experienced and professional staff dedicated to serving our community. Nickel and his wife, Chastity, live in Manchester with their son. He is, along with his wife and volunteers, have helped establish Coffee County Humane Society and enjoys coaching youth basketball and football teams.
Stay with us. We'll be right back in a moment with more Newsleader on 6.
Looking for a unique gift for someone special, or perhaps something just for yourself? Then you need to check out Grady Mac Denim Company, right here in the heart of Tullahoma. Grady Mac features the full line of men's and women's Lucky brand apparel. Stop in and check out our denim production line. Grady Mac offers a full line of outdoor sporting apparel and much more. And check out our custom fly fishing equipment, fine art, and signed sports memorabilia. There's something for everyone at Grady Mac Denim Company, the most unique store in Tullahoma.
Are you tired of getting those letters in the mail being turned down for that new car due to bankruptcy, medical expenses, or divorce? Then look no further than Russell Barnett Kia. Good credit, bad credit, no problem. Here at Russell Barnett Kia, we are your bank. Dial 931-455-6066 or visit us on the web at russellbarnett.com. And remember, we are the bank and we can help you. Good credit, bad credit, no problem. Why buy anywhere else?
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom. Adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing. Or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Welcome back. Channel 6's Tom Corrington spoke recently with State Senator Janice Bowling. In this video, Senator Bowling talks about her views on Common Core.
To my understanding, there was one bill that was brought before the House subcommittee the other day that was asked to be rolled to the next week, and it was going to involve making certain that we were setting up very rigorous Tennessee value standards. I think the biggest concern had been that you were once again looking for a cookie cutter approach out of Washington, which is essentially where this was going to come from. Common Core originally was proposed to the governors at a meeting by some group which essentially were people who had interest in Park Testing and Pearson Publishing. They are two companies. Pearson is headquartered, a corporation headquartered in London, England. And Park is the test that we had adopted through this.
To go along with
that exactly right.
Close to the Common Core standard.
Which was a single source provider, if you will, Pearson Publishing, the Common Core standard, and then PARC testing. It was a consortium that went from those that owned the publishing company to those that owned the testing company. Before, for instance, in Tennessee, there was
I don't know what was, regardless of who it came from. And I know that the state, that was another complicating factor. The state ruled out last year or the year before the use of the PARC test, which left nothing on the floor, that would test against the Common Core standard.
Well,
so
I think what you're saying and what I'm hearing from the teachers, from parents in particular and teachers in particular, superintendents I think met the other day and want to keep Common Core standards. You talk to the teachers, you talk to the principals, you talk to the parents. That's not what you're hearing.
Well, it's a mixed, it does have support from.
It has some support and it has a lot of non-support. But what it does have, no one disputes that you want to have the most rigorous standards available in education in Tennessee. A lot of the changes that have been made have been good, that were not necessarily correlated to Common Core, but are showing a result, an improvement in teaching. But teachers right now have never been so demoralized because there's no ability to really teach. There are tests on top of test on top of test, and there are things that are totally unusual to Tennessee and what we would want our children necessarily to emphasize in the learning. But the main objections, as I understand them, are that there's too much teaching to the test. The test is the tail that wags the dog, and the test is owned by this PARC consortium.
I'm not surprised the teachers are frustrated because they've had different reform methods thrown at them for the last 15 years.
I think it has become almost perennial. You think you know what's going to happen next year, and every year there's something new, something better, something different. And different's not always better.
Between these two camps, how are you going to resolve this?
In the House, they've divided the Education Committee into administration and into curricula. So there were so many bills they were expecting in the House, they recognized they would have to have two committees that would have, and they would have the distinction then of which bills would go through which committee. Next week when we go back, we'll be able to see all the different bills that have been dropped and to see what it looks like is going to be the way. I've been told it's going to be the leading issue this year is how to resolve and to get this settled down so that teachers really can be allowed to teach again and not feel that they are spending their whole life implementing one thing after another, one new methodology after another. And when you have a test that's so particular to a particular curriculum, then you've got to make certain that you're not training rather than teaching, and there is a difference.
More Newsleader on 60 is coming up right after this.
I'm Philip Bourne, Stamping Nab Detail Shop Manager. Here are a few things our customers have to say about our service.
What I love most about the Stem McNabb Detail Shop is there's someone local that I can trust to pick up my car, have it cleaned, and deliver it back to me in showroom condition.
What really amazed me is when he opened the hood and looked like he had taken the old engine out and put a new engine inside.
We have several different packages and individual services to get your vehicle looking like new again. We're located just behind Stem McNabb Chevrolet dealership. Call today, schedule an appointment, and see what the difference our detail can make.
Let the Smokehouse be your mountain getaway destination in beautiful Monteagle, Tennessee. Enjoy our cabins, restaurant, and old general store. Shop thesmokehouse.com featuring homemade barbecue sauces, jellies, and many other fine Tennessee products. Our live Music on the Mountain series features some of the best local and Nashville talent every Friday and Saturday night, 6:30 p.m. No cover, kids welcome.
Dads and father figures. Before she's all grown up, dance with her at the Starry Night Father-Daughter Dance, Saturday, February 28th at 6:30. The fun is just $35 for a night of memories with your special daughter or daughters. Your evening will be hosted by DJ Cat and feature dance lessons, delicious desserts, photo, a special gift, and more. You'll leave proud knowing your support benefits Partners for Healing. Special thanks to these sponsors: Christopher Rental Equipment, Scavengers, The Hunt Stops Here, Walgreens, Chick-fil-A, City of Tullahoma, and McMurray's. Reserve your tickets now. Starry Night Father-Daughter Dance, Saturday, February 28th.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Tennessee Lieutenant Governor Ron Ramsey has been criticized by some of his colleagues recently for changing his mind about the Insure Tennessee program. One state senator even accused him of stacking the deck with his appointments to a Senate committee which ultimately voted the initiative down. In this video from TNReport.com, Ramsey refutes those allegations.
The Democrats accused you of trying to stack the committee or to try and kill the Insure Tennessee before it had a hearing in full Senate. Did you do that?
Let's think this through real quickly, okay? I said in our caucus meetings, some of you are in there, and I said I want to set up a committee system where all members get to hear this before it comes to the floor, okay? So, and I even said that we'll keep finance like it is. You have to start somewhere and back up from there to make sure everybody's on a committee. And I set up a committee that had 4 people on there who had, in the press, had said that they're leaning toward voting for this. That's the only 4 that I know of that said that in the press, and all 4 of those were on the first committee. And then there were 4 that said they were adamantly no's on this in the press. And I put all 4 of those, and I kind of balanced that out. So once you get past those, I don't know where everybody was, but so I put a couple of people on there that I think could be persuaded. I thought one had a rural district, that's probably their hospitals are hurting. The other one doesn't exactly follow party lines all the time, great guy. So I put those on there. But if you think I stacked the committee, look at the next one that you're going to go to. Because you go to Commerce, there's 11 people on that committee, or 10 actually, 10 people on that committee. I think it was 9-1 against. So if it got out of there, it didn't have prayer after that right now. So no, as a matter of fact, I was very cognizant of the fact that give it a fighting chance at first committee.
How many of your members supported it, do you think? I'd heard like 8, the count was 8 early on. And
if you include the 5 Democrats, you're at 8. Seriously. You name the other one. Well, I forgot about it. You're right. Okay, so you got Doug. Well, he was on finance. The reason he wasn't on health, because I had to take him on finance to put him on health. So, and honestly, so you all brought this out to me, I could look at the old health committee and see how I did have a better chance on there than the one I appointed. But I never looked at that until somebody in the press said something about it. I was strictly looking at those 3 committees that were on the health committee. You're right. You're right. The 3 that actually did vote for it, Overby, and the 5, I think it's a 9, I guess. I think that was all prepared to vote for it at that time.
You had initially seemed kind of optimistic about it. You thought I think you thought you could sell it. You didn't kind of seem to cool on it as time went on. Was there anything in particular that kind of started, just the whole thing kind of, you started to have doubts, or can you kind of just describe what your thought process was?
Yeah, absolutely. I mentioned most of those just a second ago, that co-pays and deductibles are a good thing. It does bring market base and responsibility into a program, but let's be honest, if someone walks into a provider and it's a $5 or $10 copay and it's up to the provider to collect that, he has to choose, am I going to provide service to this sick person or get my $10? Odds are he won't, or she won't. And at that time, the whole process and the whole underpinning of this, that we have these medical savings accounts cards that people get credit toward, if they can't enforce the copay, then that falls apart. The governor originally said that it was 260,000 people. I'm pretty sure that's what it originally was. I saw so many figures on this, but most people will say that it'll be as much as double that. So that came up after he called me in the middle of December. And again, I'm still honestly trying to keep an open mind to this. Now, in a perfect world, I would like to see the federal government to give us a block grant to where these market-based issues that we're talking about here could go not only from the one, all we're talking about under this waiver the governor's talking about is from 100% to 138%. That does nothing to address 0 to 100% that was about 25% of our budget when Bredesen left office, is now in the low 30s somewhere, 32 or 33%, and growing. It's growing at twice the rate that revenues are coming into the state of Tennessee. That has to be addressed too. So I think we have more flexibility, and I don't think that's going to happen until we have another president, another administration. So you asked me whether things change? Absolutely. I heard a first blush and what it was, and then started examining it. That's what I need to be doing with the legislature.
Stay with us. We'll be right back in a moment with more Newsleader on 6.
You made the time and the sacrifice to broaden their horizons, to see their smiles, but mostly to make lifelong memories. We think it's time to do it again, just the two of you. Don't let illness or injury slow you down. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
Welcome back. Tonight we continue our series of tips on preparing your federal tax return. This video from the IRS talks about who is required to file.
Here's a tip from the IRS. Hi, I'm Raphael, and I work for the Internal Revenue Service. Every year, the IRS gets this question: do I have to file a tax return? In most cases, it depends on your filing status, your age, how much you make, and what kind of income you receive. If you're single, for example, you usually need to file if you earn a little over $9,000. Situations vary if you're self-employed or a dependent who can be claimed on someone else's tax return. But just because you don't have to file a tax return doesn't mean you shouldn't. If you had taxes withheld from your paycheck, you should file a tax return so that you can get a refund. Also, you could be eligible for certain credits, such as the Earned Income Tax Credit, which could mean an even bigger refund. Learn more by going to irs.gov and downloading publication 501.
The pet of the week this week at the Tullahoma Animal Shelter is a blue heeler mix named Peaches. She entered the shelter as a stray and is approximately 1.5 years old. Peaches is great with other dogs and children and has had some of her vaccinations and will receive a free spay provided by the Tullahoma Animal Shelter. Be sure to check out the Tullahoma Animal Shelter on Facebook for upcoming events and fundraisers. Remember, you can help support your local shelter by adopting, donating, or volunteering. For more details, contact Teresa at 454-9580. The Tullahoma Animal Shelter is located at 942 Maplewood Avenue.
The Coffee County Humane Society featured pet of this week is Tyler. Tyler is a bull corgi mix who needs a loving home. The shelter has also many other dogs available for adoption at 1210 Oakdale Street in Manchester. Hours of operation at the shelter are 7:30 a.m. until 2:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. The shelter's phone number is 723-2730. Donations for the animal care can be made to the Coffee County Humane Society at P.O. Box 252, Manchester 37349. Their website is www.coffeehumane.org.
We'll be right back in a moment with your weather forecast.
We're having a huge inventory reduction sale going on right now at Russell Barnett Kia with the largest selection in history with over 100 to choose from, any make, any model. Check out this 2014 Kia Forte, 14803, or this 2014 Kia Optima, 19587. With America's best warranty, the 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, Kia is the power to surprise. Any make, any model, over 100 to choose from. Why buy anywhere else?
Serving you as a local firefighter. Proudly served our country in the United States Air Force. Serving Tullahoma. Helping our kids.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop. Your comfort is our service. We'd like to thank Tullahoma for the privilege of serving your heating and cooling needs.
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's gonna be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
Sir, could you step over here, please? Is there anything you want to tell me?
Like what?
Like maybe you're out to protect the environment?
Give scholarships to kids.
Fight blindness.
Help the elderly.
Feed the hungry.
Stuff like that.
Well, I only ask because you got a little lion in you.
See? Right there. Right next to whatever that other thing is.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1994 at a balmy 70 degrees. Our record low was in 1958 at -1 degrees. Average high on this day is 53 and the average low is 33. Tonight, look for more cold weather in your forecast with a low of around 11 tonight. On Friday, a frozen mix is expected with a high of 32 and a low of 31. Rain in your forecast for Saturday as the weather warms up a little bit with a high of 49 and a low of 40. And that's our Newsleader report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for Newsleader on 6. You have a good evening.
And everybody from Newsleader 6 wishes you and your families to stay safe and warm. Thank you.